Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? So, slight change of plan this week. As you can see, we're over on a new save and we're at Sanctuary, where I have put together a little survival settlement, which I think you'll enjoy. I think it's fairly lore friendly. So, as always, if you like what you see, do hit that big red button. Let's get stuck in. Okay, so just over the bridge here, we've got a little entrance way. Nice bit of space to have anybody stop and be under fire should they be up to no good. So this kind of snowballed from what was intended to be a temporary sort of player home into something much bigger, and I keep thinking more things I want to add. I'm thinking of building a little hunter's shack somewhere in here as well, which I haven't done yet. But here we go. These things happen. So, a couple of tents, a couple of fences, just to kind of give a sort of feeling of direction on the way in. Got the guard posts overlooking the front entrance here. I do like these taller guard posts. I don't get very many opportunities to use them, but they work really well here. And similar around the other side. You may have noticed the guard there is wearing a slightly different appearing set of armour. Andrew CX's Unified Clothing Overhaul, UCO, has got different colour schemes and textures available for the armours, which I believe are better on the other consoles rather than PS4, but this Road Warrior one we've got here for the Raider one is pretty cool. Made up of road signs, which I like a lot. So, this is a little barracks for our guards. There's only 2 of them. They've got beds and somewhere to do a bit of work on their gear. Stash their stuff as well. Just a bit of group select to get those beds built. Dead easy. And a couple of seats there for them to hang out in when they get some time off duty. Not that they ever do, but anyway. There's actually a little outhouse around the back there that you may have caught a brief glimpse of as well. So we've got a junk pile here of just stuff that they've dragged out of the way from the various buildings. Stuff that's not much use to them. And this is just a little temporary thing here, just to indicate where I will eventually be putting the Bunk Hill Caravan Traders Post. There's the other bathroom. Well, use the term loosely. Yeah, I will be putting the Caravan Traders Post here, but this character is currently level 11, I believe, and has barely ventured outside of Sanctuary. All those levels have come from building, so clearly she hasn't picked that up yet. So, first proper house on the left, I've converted into the residence for the main body of the settlers. A little area to chill out in, somewhere to eat as well. So, some of the stuff's OC Decorator, and some of it I've used Tim Timmons' what's it called? Make Static mod, which is a lot easier than I was expecting it to be. Given I was expecting something more custom vanilla assetsy. But yeah, it's very, very simple. Just a case of selecting the item once you've positioned it manually and setting it to static. Very, very easy. It's a very handy little mod. A little fiddly and time consuming to do. So, some pillows on the bed that actually won't knock off. Very basic in here. No power. I want to keep it to realistic minimum, so it's all candles. Figure these are original light fittings from around Sanctuary that without any power they've just reattached to the wall and rammed candles into. So, junk wall, which is made of stuff they've dragged from various parts of the settlement and piled together to keep everybody out. It's got a couple of attack spawn points up the road that way. A little bar set up here. Again, unfortunately we haven't got a local leader up to a high enough level to actually have a functioning bar yet, but our settler here is more or less faking it anyway. I do like using these pickup trucks as guard posts. It makes for a nice little lore-friendly concept and something a little bit different as well. Down here, we seem to have a lot of people fond of Mad Max themed builds at the moment. Thought I'd do a little nod in that direction. Kind of fits with all the cars around Sanctuary as well. But somebody's obviously having a crack at repairing this one. Not quite sure how much success they're having, not a great deal at this station, look at that. It's actually a scavenging station, if I can actually speak, that I've glitched into the other side of this, so I'll come up to it and weld it and actually make some use out of the thing. So these hub flowers have been added by unlocked settlement objects and actually serve as food, which is handy because this particular character likes to make her own chems and medicine and stuff, so that way we've got supplies on hand. A surprisingly well-behaved Brahmin who decided to walk straight up there and stay there so far, touch wood, which is pretty cool. I'm quite happy about that. Very limited power on top of the house there. Some carrots growing in here, and a few glowing fungus as well for chem production. And we'll come on round to the Soul Survivor's house. There you go, isn't that armour awesome? I think I have a new favourite there, possibly with shadowed combat armour for coolness. A little seating area for Soul Survivor to chill out and take a look around the settlement when they're not out adventuring. More spot for Dogby. We'll head on inside. So, as I often do, I've converted the carport here into a kind of garage workshop with our Chem Station down at the end there. This lady's got a few odd ideas. She's a bit strange, which is not really surprising after all she's been through with the bombs dropping and the experiences in Vault 111, I suppose. Yeah, it leads to some slightly odd combinations, which I quite like. I think it works quite well. So we've got plenty of storage there, a bit of organisation for what I want to hang on to and what I want to sell when we get that set up. A little bit of a seating area. Around about 6 o'clock in the morning, one of the scavengers I've got in this place does have a habit of wandering in and hanging out here, which is a bit strange. There we go. So, little kitchen here, somewhere to store food and drink, stuff on display. The stove in the middle there doesn't actually work yet, but as soon as I got local leader up to a suitable level, I shall replace it with one that does work. And we've actually got a cooking station in here. Little desk to keep track of whatever on earth you might be keeping track of. That shelf there actually caused me a little bit of irritation, because I did have a gun and some ammo set up on there that I'd use make static for. Unfortunately, I came back on a couple of occasions and the ammo boxes had decided to just dump themselves right into the middle of the floor, so I gave up on that one. Because I couldn't really think of a better place for the decontamination arch, so it's basically just glitched into the wall there. Probably the least realistic part of it so far, I think. So yeah, working sink, and soap and some toothpaste. Presumably scavenged from the vault. Fairly basic setup in the bedroom, a few bits and pieces. The Institute flags there because I think once she gets that far, given the discovery she'll be making in the Institute, I think she will, rather than turn her back on the last surviving member of her family, I think she'll probably side with the Institute. Totally for personal reasons rather than ideological ones. And there we go. So, take a swing around the outside in just a moment. We can see the walls in action. All in all, very basic. The sort of thing that could be dragged together by a group of people over time with relatively limited building skills, possibly with the exception of the wind turbines, but even those aren't that complicated, really. To be honest, it's sort of like teenage physics education would probably do the job there. So, that windmill there, and the wind turbines as well, are actually facing towards the coast. There's the main breeze throughout the Commonwealth, I would imagine. Will be an onshore breeze that's designed to pick that up. The windmill on the right there is actually designed as a water pump. So I've got a little guard station there blocking up the gap. I'll move on round. If you use the ruined houses, you'll see, to form chunks of the wall, and just plugged up the gaps with whatever is available. Piles of junk dumped down here. Should do the job for keeping anybody out. Stop your floating toilet, which I really need to get around to fixing at some point. It's got 2 attack spawn points, one over there on the way to Vault 111, and the other one up by the turning circle at the far end. So that's everything covered on that side as well. And that's basically that. So yeah, thank you very much for watching as always. If you enjoyed, do hit those buttons for me, it's always very much appreciated. You can find me on Twitter and Facebook if you want to keep up with what's going on the channel at /Darth Xion Games. I will be speaking to you soon. Thank you very much.